Attention, this is not a Meghan Markel reading. We're reading for Lemonada. They have just signed her to relaunch Archetypes. Let's see what effect this is going to have on Lemonada. Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. I am Annabelle, and I'm a tarot practitioner for over 35 years. And in this video, we're going to see what Lemonada has in store for them. They recently just signed Meghan Markel to relaunch Archetypes. So what I can see, this was announced on their website. I didn't go to it. I went on X and I saw someone else posted it. So I looked at the screenshots. Lemonada Media, the award-winning podcast, announced today announced a creative new partnership with Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. As part of their new deal, Lemonada will distribute the first season of the award-winning and critically acclaimed Archetypes, for all audio platforms, and will also develop a new original podcast series as yet untitled, hosted by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Archetypes, a record-breaking podcast exploring the labels that try to hold women back in 1983, will be available across, it wasn't that, it didn't say 1983, but the things, back to me, because that's why you're here. The things that were discussed in Archetypes, and I did listen to some of it for professional reasons. They're tropes and things that I don't think are affecting quite as many people as she thought. It just seemed very 20 years too late. So let's take a look. We are going to look at Lemonada. We're not going to look at Meghan Markle. We're going to look at Lemonada. We're going to see what's going to happen to them, because you guys know they were branded basically box office boys. So let's see. This is going to be a fast read. This isn't going to be a long one. It's going to be really fast. Most of the folks that posted this up on Twitter, I'm seeing it was like in the last half hour, 45 minutes. So let's take a look, see what's going on. I'm going to post this one up before the rebrand video, so you get to see this while I'm out shoveling snow. Lemonada. How's it gonna be when you don't love me anymore? What effect is this going to have on Lemonada? So, me personally, I'm unfamiliar with Lemonada. It's not, I'm not huge in the podcast world, despite having a YouTube channel and being on other social medias as well. But it's just not, I'm not really a podcast listener. I just listen to YouTube videos and not watch them when I'm doing stuff. But this looks like everybody's very hopeful. They do think that there is a consistent and predictable revenue stream from this. They're looking at it that way. I think they're willing to take the bumps and the bruises, and they are also willing to take on someone who regularly creates some issues for themselves and their presentation, their PR. I think the goal is to make some changes moving forward and to address those changes. I think they're under the impression that they are in much more control than some of the other media organizations that have worked with said Duchess of Sussex. Here, there's some level of creative freedom. I think she said nothing is off limits. We can cover anything. I think she did say that is a promise, or that was part of the deal. Let's take a look. We are going to be talking about the escape from the royal family. They're going to be talking about it. This is part of the deal. I think that's what the new podcast will likely be about, is the escape from the royal family and how to be free of all of that. So how are they going to wind up at the end of all of this? Let's see. So the strength card is patience and manipulating the powers that be, cultivating the raw power, the raw animal power of a subject. But ultimately, it looks like that Lover's card is in reverse. And that's usually businesses that kind of go their separate ways. And then there's a celebration at the end of it. So I don't think that this is going to be very, it's not going to be a lifelong relationship. Let's put it that way. Let's check out one of these timing cards. I like these timing cards, but I don't like shuffling them because they're a little bit slippery. At night, within a year, it looks like we will be closing out of that relationship in a year. But you guys know I like to look on the bright side of life. Let's see if we can find a yellow brick road to make this relationship work for Lemonada. Let's find a yellow brick road. We're out of the woods, we're out of the dark, we're out of the night. Now I want to watch The Wizard of Oz, and I got to go shovel snow. What can Lemonada do to maximize this relationship with the Duchess of Sussex? They got to roll with it. Slow and steady is going to win the race. They have to embrace the negativity that comes with the association. Negativity wrapped in purported positivity. So the foundations are fairly firm. You know, that everybody's kind of stepping to the equation. They do think that there's money there. They are anticipating that there is going to be some negativity. I'm going to have to do some research on Lemonada. I'm going to have to see what kind of other programming they do support, because it's almost like they are like, this is going to drum up some, it's going to stir up some muck. Swamp donkey is, I've only heard one other person use the term swamp donkey other than Thomas Markle Jr. And it was a guy that I used to date a long time ago. And it was a hilarious thing when he said it. It's a hilarious thing when Thomas Markle Jr. says it. But I asked ex-boyfriend what swamp donkey meant. And he goes, when they step into the swamp, it stirs up all the muck. I don't know. I don't know if that's where it comes from, but swamp donkey is a ish stir. So it's a nice way of saying ish stir. So it looks like they want to leverage that negative attention. They really, they know that people, so, you know, me, I'm not familiar with Lemonada. I'm going to have to go over there and see what other kind of programming they have. So there is somewhat of a draw for that. So interesting. I don't think it's going to be the, you know, everybody wants to, you know, rescue the crazy feral cat from outside. But then you get that crazy feral cat in the house and they shred your couch and they shred your curtains and they like poop in your bathtub. So I think that they're really they think that they can ride this wave, you know. What is Meghan thinking of this? What does she think of this new partnership? Don't get me wrong, like I love partnerships. I've got all these partnerships going on with YouTubers, my students. You know, partnerships are great. You know, but you got to be above board. You got to let people know what they're getting into. So. She made a deal. She made a deal with them. Oh, and I'm getting a very clear image of accepting the role of being Cruella de Vil, the Duchess of Windsor. stepping into that role and through stepping into that villainess, stepping into some power. She thinks she's doing that. Is she doing that? Not exactly. Every villain has a shelf life. So I do think she's going to do that. And I said this wasn't going to be Meghan Markle reading, so I'm not going to read for Meghan Markle, but I do think she thinks she's stepping into power. And I do think that she is anticipating that this is going to be the way out of trouble. So we'll keep an eye on Lemonada. Maybe make sure that they're doing okay. So I wish everybody well in this. Hope you guys are having a fabulous day. This will be up in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please like, share, and subscribe.